Time. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Kudos to the fans.
We knew we could always count on those guys to show up and make it an unbelievable atmosphere.
Our fans are so passionate about our team.
He caught it. He caught that ball. That's a touchdown.
Three at the buzzer. Whether it be at the Jane or at PK Park or Autzen or MKA or wherever, boy, did they come strong.
You're a fan of the Ducks. I mean, you need to get involved with that deal.
Top of the arc, 3, 10! Hits one a ton toward the flag.
You can just see it in the way they cheer and the way that they get into the game.
Probably tells you how special Oregon is.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
It is game day. Oregon soccer trying to stay unbeaten. They'll be in action tonight at 7:30 p.m. at Santa Clara. Volleyball is playing tomorrow, an exhibition matchup with Utah, and we have plenty ahead here on Duck Insider. In terms of football audio, we're hearing from defensive line coach Tony Tuioti, outside linebacker Matayo Uiagaleilei, Aydin Breeland, defensive lineman, and Iverson Hooks as well. Chris Clayton here with you from our Country Financial Studio. Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Well, again, soccer trying to keep it going after just an absolutely terrific start to the season. Dominant win last Thursday, a week ago, over Portland State 3-0. An even tougher test on Sunday against Gonzaga, and they beat them 3-0. Benefited from a red card in the 39th minute, but just kept it going. And, 6 goals through 2 matches, but also 2 shutouts. That's a great sign of a strong start so far for Tracy Joyner in her second year as head coach. But this is the toughest test yet. Santa Clara, a powerhouse in the West Coast Conference, national champion just 5 years ago, and a team that has just consistently over the years made deep runs in the tournament. This is a terrific program with a lot of talent, and it's going to be a fun challenge for the Ducks as they get their toughest test yet. And for Oregon soccer, what's interesting with their schedule, they only have 6 non-conference matches before you go into Big Ten play where you play 12 matches. Most teams from most conferences around the country have a little bit more time to kind of tune up, if you will, before conference play, but the Ducks are just going head first, if you will, diving into the non-conference schedule and trying to keep it going and build that momentum as they look to match 3 here tonight. Some of the news today, another watch list. Davey O'Brien Award watch list. No surprise here. Dante Moore on the Davey O'Brien Award watch list. That is given to the country's best quarterback. It's just a part of the long list of watch lists and awards that Dante Moore is likely to be a part of this season. He's getting that attention that he has deserved as the Ducks are now just a couple of weeks away. And obviously it's a little bit easier to play quarterback when you've got a dominant defense, right? It takes a little bit of the pressure off. Oregon certainly has that. And in particular, a lot of the attention in the conversation has, of course, been about the Ducks' defensive line. Who's coaching those defensive linemen day to day? That's Tony Tuioti. He spoke with the media earlier this week about how he sees things progressing in fall camp so far, giving his perspective.
Coach, all we've been hearing about is this defensive line this, defensive line that. Are they living up to the hype, Coach?
I don't even listen to the hype. Here we just talk about each and every day. How can we keep getting better? It's out there, okay, but we can't have that be a distraction. Most important thing for us is focus on what we can do to get better. And today we got better. This is like the first time in my career since I've been here at Oregon where we had a scrimmage on Saturday and we had an elite practice on Monday. Typically there's a little dip from that and you try to get the guys to come practice really, really hard. But today I'm really, really proud of those guys because it was one of the best practices we've had coming off a scrimmage. So when our group can stay focused like that, our team is going to be better.
Mentioned the scrimmage on Saturday. I'm curious, what stood out from your unit? Anybody surprise you? Any thoughts on what you saw there?
Yeah, from the scrimmage, also from practice, we kind of know who we got out of the older guys. It's really the next ones that are coming up. Really excited about guys like Aiden Breeland, He's showing a lot of position flex. He's up to 315. He can play outside, play inside. He's a big-time pass rusher for us. Tank Jones has showed up a lot. Really excited about him and what he can do. Very similar to Aiden, where he's got position flex, where he can play outside, inside. He's up to 300 pounds now. So still growing into his body, but very athletic. Matt Johnson, true technician. I mean, this guy can do a lot of things inside, really, really smart. Takes a lot of really good information with pre-snap procedure, getting the call, knowing the situation and mode, and then surfacing backs. Like, he's super, super smart, really dependable. He shows up every day, works really hard. DeAndre Robinson is another big body that's twitchy, that's fast, that's athletic. So besides the guys that we know about a lot that played a lot of football for us and have a lot of experience that we're going to lean on, this next group I'm really, really excited about too.
Yeah, building on that, Aiden, excuse me, we know about his backflips and athleticism, but what's the next step for him this season to maybe get on the field a little bit more?
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to get on the field a little bit more just because of what he's been able to do in spring and then also during fall camp. We've known that he can always rush the passer, but as always, can we depend on you first, second down? And he's made that a point of emphasis for him. He's done a really good job of getting bigger, stronger, so he can take on these combination blocks. And he's been holding the point against the run and been showing up against the run for us. So he's definitely a guy that we're going to depend on, definitely a guy that's going to get a lot of reps for us this season. So just really proud of him, just focusing on the things that he needs to get better on and attacking it every day.
On Saturday after the scrimmage, Coach Lanning said might be one of the best camps from a defensive side in terms of attacking the ball. I'm curious where you've seen that from a line standpoint, and if you share that same sentiment that this is one of the better fall camps from a defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, we always emphasize the ball. Like, the ball is oxygen for us. Coach Hamp does a great job of emphasizing that to the unit, and the guys do a really good job, starting from the leaders all the way through, attacking every single play. So we make that a point of emphasis for us each and every day at practice. We do it in indie period. We celebrate when we make big plays. It gets infectious that way when we're all on the same page trying to get to the football.
You pinpoint what led to the elite practice after scrimmage, and then I guess the second part of that is how valuable is the 4 starters back setting the standard just of what is expected every single day in practice?
Yeah, I think it all starts with the mindset. Showing up in meetings, attacking the day, waking up in the morning to make a choice. Coach Lanning challenges each and every one of us to choose hard. On the other side of hard is our greatness. And none of us came here to Oregon because we were looking for easy. We know that it's definitely hard here. The competition is really, really high. Expectations are really, really high. But, it's a privilege for us. Pressure is a privilege, and we enjoy that. And, our guys made a choice this morning. It starts with our leaders. I thought Bear did a great job today, really taking a step forward and bringing guys along with them. We talk about levels of competitors, and one of those is a commander. Can our leaders bring people along with them? If we can bring everybody else that are, whether they're younger, they're first-year guys, second-year guys, to play better than what they've done the day before, we're better as a team, and I thought we took that step today. And then to your second question about the starters coming back or the vets that came back, I mean, we're very blessed and lucky to have those guys come back. I think everybody in the country wishes they can have 4 guys with that amount of experience be on their team, and we're blessed to have them here at Oregon. They do everything the right way. They care, they're bought in. They're bought into everything we ask them to do, from whether it's in the training room, in the weight room with Coach Willie Love, in meetings, and then even in drills, pushing guys to keep getting better. I see these older guys, they do a great job in helping the younger guys get better. I see them on the side coaching up young guys. I see Barry coaching up Tank. I see Tatum and Mateo coaching up Dutch. Like, if we have a team that's like that, that's connected, that care about each other, we can do some really, really special things.
You mentioned position flex with Aiden and Tank. Is that something that Elijah is doing as well? Is he spending time moving inside and outside? Where's he kind of fitting right now?
Yeah, Elijah's another one of those big bodies. He's up to about 285 now. Put some weight on. That's another long body that we can use with position flex that can play outside, play inside. We're a defense that has a variety of schemes, and we can do a lot of things. And when you got athletic bodies like that, you can plug and play them where you want. So really happy with where Elijah's at. He's improved a lot. He's got long levers. He can play pretty stout for us in the run game. And then he can add some pass rush value to us outside and also inside too. which he hasn't shown a lot of yet, but we're doing that now with him.
I'm going to ask you what it's like being a dad where you've got one son playing here, another son helping you coach here, just kind of the dynamics and what that's been like. A bit of a change this year.
I mean, it's always special, having Tatum here for 3 years now, going on our 4th year. I can already feel that the time is coming where it's coming to an end. And so just enjoying every moment with him, having my son Tavis here coaching too as well, and seeing both of them in the building is a blessing. And I really appreciate Coach Lanning for allowing that opportunity to happen. So just enjoying every moment with them, and I'm just glad that they're able to help the program in any way.
I know he had the injury this spring, but wanted some clarification or an update on Tony. I don't know if there's any chance he gets back to the field this fall, or what do you kind of expect there?
He's got a ways to go. It's a work in progress with him. And I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to be something that we'll be able to see him soon. But he's made so much progress. I think the thing that's most important that we have him with him, and just having him in the room brings a smile to all our faces, because when our guys think about camp, and camp is really, really hard, all they got to do is just look at Tony Cumberland and just know that, hey, man, I'm all right. And I'm going to work really, really hard for him because I want to make him proud. And if he had opportunity to practice, he'd definitely do it too. So just love him, just love the progress that he's made so far, and just really glad he's here with us.
Going back to Elijah, in an age where if a guy wants to play and he's not playing here, he can quickly find somewhere else to do it. As a former 5-star recruit, what can you just say about his dedication of not being able to see the field a lot his first couple of years and staying the path, following the program and the process?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's not only a question for him. Like, everybody has those questions, And I think a lot of times in this day and age with this society, if I don't get what I want, I'm going somewhere else, and that's not always necessarily the best thing to do. I'm just glad that Elijah trusts the process here and knows that everybody develops at different times. And you go back and you look at Amari Washington. He didn't start year 1, didn't start year 2, he started year 3. And we've never had that discussion when Maury was here. How many reps am I going to get? How come I'm not a starter? He just trusts in the process. And a lot of that has to go back to the relationship. Elijah's got a great relationship with Coach Cam, Coach Lanning, myself, and, he trusts the process. So I'm just glad he's here with us. And, he's definitely somebody that can help us too.
I wanted to go back to Tank for a second. You mentioned close to 300 pounds, at 300 pounds. I think that's 50, 60 pounds above where he was when he enrolled probably. Can you speak to the body transformation and what that, he's a teenager making this change, that commitment he has to make to do that?
Yeah, and I think a lot of times, everybody grows at different phases in their life. When Tatum first came here, it was 212 and then became 245 and 250. And, Tank's the same way. He was a guy when we were recruiting him, we knew he had potential to probably grow into be bigger than what he is. And, we're always going to take our guys and try to help them be the best version of them, whether they're going to trim down or get as big as they can. Him adding that weight, he still has the speed, power, and twitch, which is phenomenal to have an athlete like that. And he's just a great kid. He works really, really hard. He's really, really humble. And I'm really excited to see him continue to keep getting better for our program.
A couple of new guys on the line, Jerome and Derek. Just curious how they're doing, how they're fitting in the team, and where that growth has been for you so far.
Yeah, they're taking it one day at a time. When it's not easy to come from a school where you learn the system for 2-3 years and then come here, and they're fighting each and every day, trying to find their place and their role on our team, and they're working really, really hard. This is a long season, college football, as you know. You start getting into these playoff runs, you're going to need everybody ready to go. So the best version of our program is if the bottom of our roster and our top of our roster, if we can close that gap in that space, you're going to feel really, really good about it. And so that's our goal. That's what we're trying to strive for, is to get everybody in our room to keep getting 1% better.
I've heard that your family in particular is a pretty big board game family. Jerome apparently has brought in like a solitaire war type of game, and that's spread across the defensive line. Can you just speak to that, and then also just maybe more importantly the camaraderie that creates during a grind of a fall camp?
So I don't know if anybody plays the game Nerds. So it's basically solitaire with a lot of people, and there's a lot of competition that goes along with that. So all our players know, anybody that shows up to the Tuiote household, if you don't know how to play cards, you're going to learn how to play cards. You're going to learn how to play dominoes. We're really big in just having our home open. I'm just glad that guys feel comfortable enough to come and just hang out. And obviously Tatum's there every day. Dutch stops by every day. Tell, since he's been a freshman, had the garage code and the front door code since he's been a freshman. So our house has always been open to a lot of players here, and I'm just glad that they get a chance to just feel like there's a safe place that they can stop by at, and if they're hungry, there's times I made 3 dinners at one point at night. So it's just a blessing to have it, because as you know, these guys being here, it comes and goes really, really fast. And as a parent that's had 7 kids, and now I only got a freshman at the house now, like, you got to enjoy all the phases. And I'm definitely enjoying this phase here with these guys right now. Just these 4 guys coming back is a really, really special year for us. So we just want to make sure we do it the right way.
It's fun to get a glimpse behind the curtain and hear a bit about the Tuiote household. Big on card games, which obviously with all the ties with a son being on the coaching staff for Tony Tuioti, another son who's likely to be a first-round NFL draft pick and going to be a star on the Oregon defensive line. A lot of players hanging out there playing cards there with the Tuiote. So we continue our discussion of the Oregon defensive line when we come back. Matayo Uiagaleilei talking to the media along with Aydin Breeland. More ahead on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs, and for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Hey, how are finals coming along?
Good, Mom. It's not easy. But then I remember how hard you would study at the Adult Literacy Center to finish your high school diploma. And it motivates me to keep going.
You're right. Hitting the books after a long day at work was tough. But getting my high school diploma opened new opportunities for us.
Totally. It's so inspiring.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in Oregon. Oh, I left my heart in Oregon. Yeah, I left my heart in Oregon.
Duck Insider continues, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. We're live in the Country Financial Studio. Big day today for multiple reasons. First of all, Oregon soccer game day here tonight at 7:30 p.m. They're on the road at Santa Clara trying to stay unbeaten, but by the time we're on the air tomorrow here for Duck Insider, it'll be in the throes of Oregon volleyball in action. They're playing tomorrow at noon, an exhibition game with Utah. Not your typical match that you'd see as an exhibition. I mean, this is, sometimes you'll see closed scrimmages across different sports in this type of game, but this is a great challenge. Trent Kirsten was on the program, the Ducks head coach, earlier on this week, and he said this is a really big test. I mean, this is a Utah team that has a lot of talent coming back. Coach Kirsten feels like Utah could or should be a ranked team by the end of the season. So with the doors opening 11:30 a.m. tomorrow at Matthew Knight Arena, that's your opportunity to take a Friday afternoon off, go watch the Ducks against a really good opponent, and could learn a lot about what should be a very talented Oregon team here this season. Our discussion of Oregon football continues. One of the stars of this Oregon defense, Matayo Uiagaleilei, electing to come back to Eugene and put together what should be a huge season for him in this Ducks defense, and he spoke to the media earlier this week.
Coach Cam said last week that you shedding the weight this offseason kind of improved all facets of your game. I'm just curious, after, 8-9 practices now, how you kind of feel with this new size?
Yeah, I think I feel better. I feel in better shape, more condition. And then, it sounds kind of cliche, but like every facet, I feel like, and I think I've been more intentional in everything I've been doing. So it just goes to my mindset also,
Coach Lanning mentioned that, Dante's been more willing to change some plays at the line this camp and has a better grip, obviously, on the offense. But, on your side, what do you see from him in terms of growth, both as, with that and, as a leader?
Yeah, definitely. Going against him every day, you could definitely tell, this guy's smart. He's able to read our defense and get the offense on the right plays. And he's definitely poised in the pocket. Definitely his pocket movement, I feel like, has improved. Just trying to get, I'm not trying to sack him in practice, but, if I want to rush or something, I'm visualizing, where he's going to be. And he's doing a good job stepping up when he needs to and stuff. Just being a leader overall, kind of everywhere. He's been doing really good.
When someone says that they're trying to improve their pass rush, does that mean adding moves? If you are adding moves, where are you finding them? How are you doing that? What's the process of kind of building that in an off season?
Yeah, it could be finding new moves, or just focusing on the little details, just like my get off. Like if you ask any D-line coach in the country, my get off, my approach is like pretty much the most important thing. So I think it's a combination of both, seeing where I could add, into my game, like different things. What can I work off certain rushes? And then just attacking the basics, like my get off, where my eyes are at, at the top of the rush, trying to bend, or, if I'm getting if I'm getting past the level quarterback, working a counter rush back, understanding what coverage is behind me, and then, it's not just me out there too, rushing with all four, 4 is 1. And the big thing we've been saying is, sacks are cool, but we're trying to destroy the pocket. That's the big thing we're working on, destroying the pocket, assaulting the pocket, and everything, sacks, pressures, hits, that's all going to come.
I'm curious how much time you spent going up against Tommy and Mandy, those two freshman tackles, and what you've seen from them and their development.
Yeah, both of those guys are freaks. Just get that out the way. As physical specimens. Definitely, they're being just thrown in the fire. They have the ability to play and to be really good tackles. And I feel like they're improving every day. I think they're both really big and really good, really athletic.
A lot of coaches have talked about the importance of the addition of Rip Rowan to your room and improving the pass rush for you guys. Can you what's that process been like? How has he helped you? What's just been the takeaways of working with him?
Yeah, I feel like something that our coaching staff does well, our whole organization, is just having a growth mindset. So, there's a growth mindset, Coach Cam and Coach Lanning. I feel like both of them are great pass rush coaches. But adding Rip, just bringing another perspective. He came from the NFL, worked with some great guys like Max Crosby, other people. Has a long coaching career, but just his perspective and his mindset of rushing the passer, I feel like it's definitely helped us improve our pass rush as a whole, and then each guy individually, So I'm very thankful we have Coach Rip. I think he's a great addition.
Coach Tuioti said yesterday that Tank was up to 300 pounds, which seems kind of insane considering he came here at around 245. Just curious what you've seen from this offseason and his literal growth in the program.
Yeah, he probably came a little heavier than that, but probably high school. I know he played some middle backer, but he started in the edge room. He's smart enough to drop back, athletic enough to drop back, cover, and he could also go inside now. So I think he just was just fit into his body more. He is like 300 now. But definitely, like he's probably been thrown in the fire the most. Like probably has one of the most reps probably every practice. And he's just killing it, man. He's, I feel like we're throwing a lot of stuff at him, and he's just killing it, improving every day. You could play him in a 5, you could play him in a 3, kind of throughout the whole line. He's athletic and he's still big and still can move.
With all of the noise that comes with the preseason, the rankings, the lists that go on and on, Dante mentioned that he has essentially cut out social media completely. Have you tried to do that, or what are some ways that you as a player try to keep that out?
Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the most posts I would see about myself is from my dad. So I didn't follow my dad, but I muted his account so I don't see all his posts. But I talk to him a lot, so but just his posts, like I don't need to, he's gonna post a lot. It's always been like that, and I'm not mad at him. It helped me get here to where I am today. But just like Dante said, I don't need to see all that. But yeah, I feel like and even social media is always trying to stay off, like not really looking at rankings or none of that.
I think a lot of the discussion this offseason has been about the 4 seniors, you being one of them coming back on the defensive line. But the more you talk to people, there's so much excitement for some of the younger players. Talked about Tank, but Matt Johnson, Aiden, Elijah, and Nasir. We could probably run through more names. How exciting is that for you as a senior to see what the future could be here?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, I haven't even thought. I've only thought about like just this year, but like thinking down the road, like the guys that are still gonna have a big impact this year. The guys that are gonna stay, like sky's the limit for them. Like the names you mentioned in the OB room and the D-line room, like these guys can really get after it in the run, in the pass. And I think it's just been a testament to the recruiting that Oregon has done, and just a testament more to the culture that we've built. Like shoot, there's probably people on our team that might not be like the ideal 5-star that we picked up, and people they've just been working, and you can see it in the field.
Kind of along those lines, 5 stars like you were when you came into the program have high expectations, fair or not. And Elijah was one that was a 5-star that entered the program. Your careers are different. You played right away. He's had to wait and develop and trust the process. In a day and age when you could just, if you don't play year 1, you can go and you can find somewhere else. Can you just speak to just his development and his trusting of the process and the opportunity he has now this season because of that?
Yeah, speaking on Elijah, it's like there's really only good things I can say. Like from day one, it's still my freshman year. Like the first time he came in was that bowl week. We played the Fiesta Bowl. We were playing Liberty, but just seeing him in his first week come in, like I remember the first drill we did, his first practice. Like he's not even technically a freshman yet, and like we go into our first indy, he goes in the front of the line, just seeing his eagerness. And the coach is like, get back in the line, get him back in the line. But just seeing the way he works, no matter what's happened through his career, just his work ethic, his attention to detail. There's no doubt in my mind that this year is definitely going to be a year where he shines, and a lot of the work that he's put in over these years is going to pay off. So it's definitely testament to.
Dutch is someone who's been brought up a ton by coaches and players. It's just an incredibly hard worker. I'm just curious what you've seen from him so far this fall camp.
Yeah, Dutch is. I mean, I'm not surprised because I played with him in high school, but he just came in and people, I've never seen anyone pick up our playbook, our defensive playbook, as fast as he's been picking it up. He could play, Sam, Jack, Big N, and he just comes in every day with the energy and his contagious energy on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? If our sideline's down, he's gonna be the one guy that's telling everybody to get the energy up, and you can always count on him to have an effort clip. Like he's never gonna be loafing or nothing like that. Just a great addition, it's always cool to have, people that, I played with in the past. But definitely, he's been very impressive this fall camp.
You can really feel the excitement now around Oregon football, the season opener just a few weeks away. And one of those things that people are most excited about is to see that pass rush, that front seven defensively. And Matayo Uiagaleilei obviously going to be a huge part of that here this upcoming season. Our discussion of Oregon football continues. Still ahead, Aydin Breeland, another defensive lineman. We'll also hear from new wide receiver Iverson Hooks, still ahead on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Jan on the street. Hi, it's Jan from Tuiote. Summer's not over at the National Sales Event, so I'm taking to the streets to see how people are keeping summer fun going with a new Tuiote. Excuse me, sir. How are you making summer last longer with your Tuiote?
Dropping my BZ to the park to play kickball with friends. Kickball is life.
Love the passion. Jan on the street.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Tuiote dealer for details. Tuiote, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Remember back in April, the Oregon football spring game, one guy that got some attention for playing well in that was Aydin Breeland, a defensive lineman for the Ducks. This is a guy that coming out of high school in Santa Ana, California from Mater Dei. He had a lot of attention as a 5-star recruit. There's an Oregon roster with a lot of guys that are 5 or 4 stars, but we saw some of that come to fruition last year. Aydin Breeland played in 12 games for the Ducks and could be even more here this upcoming season. This is from Media Day a couple weeks ago, getting to know a little bit more about Oregon's young defensive lineman, Aydin Breeland.
What did you learn about yourself in the spring
game? I'd say the biggest thing I learned about myself in the spring game is that I should be as confident in myself as I should be, if that makes sense. I feel like my ability is definitely there. My ability to play is there. And that's just the biggest thing I say, just a big confidence booster.
What's the key of building off a moment like that? You had the whole offseason to kind of do that. What was kind of the key of maybe reinforcing, like, yeah, I belong at this level, I can start at this level?
I just say being consistent, knowing the job's not done. I had a great spring. I just wanted to be consistent throughout the offseason through the summer. So just rebuilding the foundation and just keep stacking on what I had already done.
What's it like for you and some of these younger D linemen? You're working behind a couple guys, Bear and Amari, who are pretty entrenched as starters, but knowing you have the opportunity to get your moments and your opportunities.
Can you say that one more time?
Well, just kind of what's it like knowing that the starters are kind of clearly who they are, but you have an opportunity to develop behind the scenes kind of as backup to those moments?
Oh, I mean, it's great. We all kind of bounce knowledge off of each other. We all give each other nuggets. especially like when it comes to like pass rush and just technique stuff and stuff like that. Me and Matt Johnson work a lot together as far as extra work goes and behind the off season or behind the scenes in the off season.
Kind of look at yourself as kind of the next guys in the inside, maybe the two of you.
Yes, sir.
What do you like about Matt's game?
He's just powerful. Behind Amari, I definitely say he's one of the strongest on the team, if not the strongest.
Well, you see that on the field, you see it in the weight room, all of it.
All of it. It's just that's a big part of his game, and he also has a great amount of finesse to him too when it comes to pass rush, similar to myself.
Is that why you think you guys work together pretty well?
Yeah.
Skill sets, or what allows you to be good complements?
I mean, we're best friends off and on the field. We work out together a lot, and then me and him specific, we bounce a lot of knowledge and just game off each other.
I know he's on the edge, but what have you seen from Naswai just from last year, getting some flashes to now heading into year 2?
I definitely say polishing on technique as far as pass rush goes, power goes, learning how to use his speed and to convert to the power. That's been a big improvement for him, and just putting on size. He's gone pretty big this offseason in the weight room, and he's taking it a lot more serious.
It's kind of the biggest difference. Most that normally happens from a freshman to sophomore. A lot of guys put on that weight, and he's like, yeah, like pants don't fit me anymore. I have to go like get a new wardrobe. Like, what's just the biggest adjustment when you're kind of dealing with that much weight change from year to year?
I definitely say just figuring out your bag as far as like pass rush goes and just D-line play goes. You know what I'm saying? More size allows for different things, and just redefining your technique, I'd say, and just figuring out who you are as a player.
Going to your own game, what do you think has been the biggest improvement you've made in the offseason?
The biggest improvement I've made, most definitely, without a doubt, would have to be in the run game. Just anchoring down, striking at 3-tech, or even at the 2-eye. I'm comfortable playing the run over all positions.
Was that a technique thing, a knowledge thing, a combination, kind of what?
It was kind of just accumulation of it all, because I definitely say there was times where I could play the run, but it wasn't overall consistent. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I've definitely hammered that nail this offseason.
Because last year mostly on pass rush.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Mostly on pass rush. I'm playing all 3 downs this year.
At what spot? Are you kind of mentioning, are you moving around a little bit, or what kind of where you landing?
I'm moving around a lot. I've played big end at the 6 and the 5. I've been at the 3 and the 2, even in the 1 and the 0 at some of our fronts too. So it's kind of just everywhere.
Is that kind of consistent for most of the guys in the group, or is it sort of? Are you kind of maybe wearing more hats than most of your teammates?
I wouldn't say I'm wearing more hats than most of us. We all kind of play around with our defenses because just how our defenses go. But me specifically, I've been moving around a bit.
What stands out most about Tank Jones?
His size at his at his young age, and just the way he works. He has a great work ethic for such a young guy.
He's got a lot bigger. That's what I heard.
Yes, sir. He's
almost interior more than on the edge.
He does both. He's kind of like in the same position I'm in as far as moving around on the whole line, learning everything.
You feel like you kind of take him as you're a little older guy than him now. You're mentoring him a little bit now in the first.
Most definitely, is just helping him out with the defense and stuff like that. Anything I could give him, any nuggets, anything like that.
What about Ant Jones? I think is what the other Anthony Jones.
Yep, Anthony Jones. Yeah, he's coming too.
Is Ant? Is that what we're calling him, or are we just calling him Anthony? Does it matter?
We call him Ant.
Oh, Ant.
Yeah.
What do you see from him?
Just a lot of hard work. He's still coming along, learning the defense because he just got here in the summer. But he's been putting in work. He's been putting in extra work too. So he expects some good thing from him.
I asked Nas this. I'm gonna ask you, toughest current OL that you face in practice in drills.
The toughest current offensive lineman that I face in drills, I definitely have to say at the tackle position it would be Fox Crater, and at the guard I'd say young Dimitri Manning. He's pretty good, and I'll say Doug Utu is also pretty good. He's pretty strong too.
What have you picked up from Dontre and Jerome, a couple of the new guys?
Can you say that one more time, please?
What have you picked up this offseason from Dontre and Jerome? They're new guys.
Oh, DeAndre and Jerome.
Yeah, kind of plenty of experience and maybe a fresh perspective. What have you picked up from them?
Just ball knowledge. We all just talk ball because DeAndre has played a couple places, so we've shared some of his experiences and some of his playing time at his old schools, and then same with Jerome. Jerome has been playing for quite a while too. So I just say ball knowledge and nuggets, just more nuggets.
So Bear and Amari were squatting 855 pounds. Where do you stand in the competition in the room?
I'm not as much as they are, but I'm pretty close. So, yeah, I'd say we're all getting pretty strong.
What has the addition of Coach Rowan meant for the D-line?
Coach Rip has been a great addition to the D-line, especially helping us with our pass rush game. He's been a great help with that because he came from the NFL and he's had a lot of just nuggets and just ways to do things like new techniques or just ways to redefine and tweak your technique or whatever to make it work better and just showing you multiple ways to skin the cat. You know what I'm saying?
Is it exciting when you get to be around somebody who has that NFL experience and maybe can add some things that you haven't really seen before? Like, what's that like as a D-line?
It definitely is, because when you're doing something right and he praises you, you kind of know that you're going in the right direction because he's seen it at the highest level.
Right. And you mentioned kind of new techniques. You don't have to share any of that necessarily if you don't want to, but like, do you feel like collectively that's helping everybody kind of move in the right direction?
Most definitely.
Do you think the biggest thing on that, and I'll let you answer the question, but when you have more techniques, offensive linemen can't read what you're doing as easily because you can do different things and they can't adjust. They have to be a little bit less prepared for the same thing every time. Is that kind of the way you feel?
Precisely. Like we call it a bag. You know, you got your tool bag. You can reach in the bag and pull out any tool. They're not going to be ready for it because the biggest thing as a D lineman is playing reactionary. As the offensive lineman give you different sets and different things to react off of. So they may give you a jump set and you have a way to swim over it or a different swipe or something like that, or you could push, pull, and jump through. It really just depends on their set, and you want to be able to have every tool that you can to react to what they're giving you.
How good are your analytics in watching film and understanding what their technique is and how they look into each technique so that you can adjust?
I've definitely been keying in on that more as I've gotten older. There's just like certain stances, especially with like get-off keys, whether it's the knees, with the ankles, or like specifically lined up over the center. The heels might pick up before they snap the ball, because I definitely say the get-off is most important. And then just like heavy in the stance, like if their hand is heavy, you can see them leaning forward, they're probably going to jump you, or just stuff like that.
Are there any teammates, could be offense, defense, that you're really kind of excited for the fans to see this fall?
One more time?
Are there any offensive or defensive, anybody on the team, I guess, that you're really excited for the fans to see this fall?
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. We've got talent across the board. Yeah, I'm excited for the fans to see everybody. I'm excited for the fans to see the Ducks this year.
Other than Tank, is there any incoming freshmen that have kind of stood out to you?
Incoming freshmen that have stood out to me, I definitely say Prince. I can't say his last name. We've hung out quite a bit. I feel bad because I can't say his last name, but he's an athletic freak as well. He has a game of his own when it comes to speed and power and athleticism. So I'm excited for him to play. Young Kendra on the offensive side of the room, he's pretty strong. I face him when I'm playing end sometimes. He's pretty strong, and when he gets over the middle, and nobody can really bring the ball out from him when he catches it. So.
Have you had any competition with Tommy Toffee so far this spring?
I have. Tommy Toffee is definitely another freshman that has proven himself. He can definitely play, and he's definitely a great player.
Fun to hear from Aydin Breeland. Also, always fun to hear the perspective from defensive linemen on the offensive linemen. We could talk a lot about, how these offensive and defensive guys fares in the real games, but these guys also battle day to day in practice and in camp. They have better perspective than anybody on evaluating one another because they're the ones in the trenches. When we come back, we hear from a skill position guy. How about Iverson Hooks coming over and joining a loaded receiver room? We hear from him next on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
winning doesn't happen by accident. It takes a playbook, one that works when the pressure's on. For 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been that playbook for the injured, recovering more than $35 billion for our clients. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics, because in football and in the courtroom, the right playbook gets results. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome. Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Heard a lot from Oregon defensive players so far here today on Duck Insider. Heard from Tony Tuioti, heard from Matteo Uangallay, from Aydin Breland. And let's switch over to the offensive side. Iverson Hooks electing to transfer to play for Oregon in what's already an absolutely loaded core of wide receivers. He's going to bring even more talent and experience to this group. Just this week, he was named as part of the Biletnikoff Award watch list for what he's done in his career so far before joining the Ducks and for the talent that he brings to the field. Let's hear from him and learn a little bit more about who he is. A couple weeks ago for Media Day, wide receiver Iverson Hooks talking to the media.
First time we've gotten the chance to talk to you. We're just curious what the transfer process has been like and kind of why you chose Oregon in the first place.
Oregon's always been a dream school for me, being little, and just in that time where the portal had went so fast, you know, you only had a couple days. I just was patient, and then a time came where Coach Landon called me, and then I just didn't give up that opportunity.
The obvious comparison is people say you fit the mold of Tez Johnson. What's that like? I mean, those are big, maybe not big shoes to fill, but a big mold to fill. So just what's that experience like and kind of trying to live up to that?
I don't let it really put too much pressure on myself because I like being myself. I'm just satisfied and grateful to be able to be under the same conversation as a great receiver as Tez. Just both being from Alabama, I just look up to his footsteps and hopefully that I can carry along his shoes.
With all the talent in the wide receiver room, how do you separate yourself? How do you get noticed?
That's just consistency. Yeah, just being a ball player. Football is going to take care of itself. It can be so quick to stress yourself out or worry so much, but I just let God do what he do, and I just take it one day at a time.
What's the biggest adjustment for you?
My biggest adjustment is probably the outside world. Just very different from being from Alabama. Just the community behind the Oregon football. No matter wherever you go, a grocery store, a gas station, you're gonna see that they love Oregon here, and that's just a big time. I'm glad to be a part of that.
I'm from Birmingham, so roll tide. Just talk about a big storyline. It's gonna be the SEC versus Big Ten. You're kind of biased now that you're in the Big Ten, but kind of wanted to know your stance on SEC versus Big Ten.
I'm not even going to sit right here and just say it's too much of a difference or it's a similarity. Everybody's good, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really like to compare a conference because I came from a smaller conference. Just coming from that, I just seen that there's talent everywhere, and so that talent is going to be found. It's just up to you to display it on Saturdays.
Do you go into a season with individual goals? You hold those?
I do.
Will you tell us any of those, or are you going to keep those to yourself?
I'll tell you one. Win as many games as possible. That's one I can give you. The rest are all self goals, but I just put that besides myself. Like I say, I let God handle what he handles. And then as long as my teams come out with a win, then I can't do nothing but be satisfied.
Talk about the adjustment to getting bought in mentally, to kind of having the same hunger and drive and motivation as the guys who've been here longer than you, and how you'll need that going into fall camp.
I'll say I lean on a couple shoulders that showed me the way when I first got in here, like Eastu. Everybody already know that's a great player. J-Mac, DK, JD. Just coming in, being fresh, they showed me the ropes. They just showed me like what it took to be a team, and it just took us to be a brotherhood, and that just brought us all together.
What were your thoughts on Dante Moore before you showed up, and then now that you've been here for a little bit of time?
Before I showed up, I honestly didn't even know if he was going to stay, so it was a surprise to me too. So when I actually heard the news that he was going to stay, it was just a shocking moment to me. Of course, I was satisfied, glad to have him back, and then just a couple weeks later, we got out there, started running some routes. I seen the laces, and yeah, it just felt good to know that you have a really good quarterback behind you.
Didn't you play a little quarterback in high school?
I did.
What was it like kind of making the switch from that to receiver?
It was kind of hard adjusting to not being able to have the ball in your hands every play. That used to frustrate me a little bit, but just becoming a team player, that would make me just stop being so selfish. I want to be able to win as many games. Like I said, I want to be able to win. So, just coming from where I came from, I didn't win too many games. And so I know that me putting beside that my own self-goals and stuff like that, that can be better for the team and not just myself.
Did you just have like too much speed, or like why did they?
I can't even tell you that. I would probably say my size for sure. I'm a little undersized, so I really can't see over a line. But you feel me? I just had to adjust to my ability and then still find a way to make plays.
Because of that experience, though, do you feel like you can offer up some pointers in the huddle to Dante on how to play quarterback?
I wouldn't say pointers, but I could definitely understand I can see what he sees, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I can see a coverage or a zone just from being back there studying defenses like I know that he does. Just make sure we're both on the same page. It helps me get open.
A lot of the guys today have talked about that Peach Bowl loss, and I know you weren't a part of that, but how some of them say it drives them, some of them say they don't think about it anymore. What was your gauge of the team this spring on how much that game was affecting this team or not affecting this team?
Everybody's hungry. Of course, everybody sees it that Oregon gets one step closer every time. So my goal for me was to come in and just help them get that one step.
Did you watch that game? And if so, what were your thoughts? Was it a high emotion game for you? Who were you going for? Just talk about your experience watching.
It's crazy to say, even though I did play for another team, I've always went for Oregon. So of course I wanted Oregon to win it all. It hurt me a little bit to see the final of that game, but I just know that it takes all 11. So you really can't come out there and say this team is going to win, that team is going to win. It's just whoever plays the best ball on that Saturday.
Were you named after anyone? Where's Iverson come from?
My name is Iverson Jordan Hooks. I was named from Allen Iverson and Michael Jordan. I took both their last names and put it together.
How much tape on AI have you watched over the years?
I'll tell you something crazy. I'm not even a basketball type of guy. My older brother, he liked the basketball, and he was actually sitting there playing a basketball game while my mom was in labor with me, and then they just couldn't decide on a name, and he actually had Allen Iverson playing against Michael Jordan, and that's how it came to.
This is why we love to play these interviews here on Duck Insider. The insight of Iverson Jordan Hooks, named after Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, doesn't even play basketball, but also a high school quarterback. So kind of an interesting backstory in the guy that became a star at UAB and had nearly 1,000 receiving yards last year and could put up some huge numbers here this year for the Ducks. But basketball name, not a basketball guy, very much a football guy, and should add a lot to the Oregon edge this year offensively as one of the star wide receivers. Finish up the show when we come back. We get you primed for a game preview for Oregon soccer tonight. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills, we're more than just a country club. We're where family, fun, and connection come together. Enjoy our award-winning course, vibrant year-round events, and the warm camaraderie of fellow members. Our all-inclusive event spaces offer both indoor and outdoor settings, perfect for weddings, business events, holiday parties, and more. Whether you're in search of championship golf, lively social gatherings, or simply a welcoming community to call home, Shadow Hills is the place where you belong.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
If a baby is giggling in the back seat, they're probably happy. If a baby is crying in the back seat, they're probably hungry. But if a baby is sleeping in the back seat, will you remember they're even there? When you're distracted, stressed, or not usually the one who drives them, the chances of forgetting them in the back seat are much higher. It can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot fast and can be deadly. So get in the habit of checking the back seat when you leave. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Big day. You're just a few hours away. 7:30 p.m. tonight. First touch for Oregon soccer taking on Santa Clara. It's a big challenge. It's a Santa Clara team with wins already this year over San Jose State and a tie against Cal. If you're really big into soccer and you track the regional polls like I do, number one in the USCA Pacific Region poll. That's a region that includes the Pac-12, the WCC, and the Mountain West. In the first iteration of that poll, Santa Clara is number one. So this is a WCC contender, perhaps even an NCAA tournament team. A great test for the 2-0 Ducks tonight. That'll be broadcast on ESPN Plus again, 7:30 p.m. Taylor Dever, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Shiloh Baird, the Big Ten Freshman of the Week for Oregon. And kind of interesting for Lauren Hunter for the Ducks. She just had her first goal as a Duck on Sunday. She played for Santa Clara. She played 6 games there last year before going down with an injury and had 12 games in the year before that. She had a couple goals there, so kind of interesting emotions for Lauren Hunter as she goes back to play at Santa Clara. And then Oregon plays Sunday noon at San Francisco. Also tomorrow for volleyball fans, 11:30 a.m. the doors open at Matthew Knight Arena. Trent Kirsten and the Ducks exhibition match with Utah. Great challenge and a fantastic opportunity to watch Oregon volleyball. So big stuff for the Ducks today and tomorrow. Joey Mack's back tomorrow to close out the week on Duck Insider. Have a good Friday.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So be